So this video will talk about two things: neutralization reactions, which is what happens when you mix an acid with a base, and then titration, which uses these types of reactions in order to figure out the concentration of a solution of an acid or a base. And so we'll learn how to do those calculations. So a neutralization reaction is an acid plus a base, and all the ones that we see here, they're all going to be an Arrhenius acid with an Arrhenius base, which means our acid is going to have a proton, and all of the bases here are going to be hydroxide bases. When we mix a strong acid with a strong base to do a neutralization reaction, the products are always water and some sort of ionic compound, which we call the salt. The net ionic equation for a neutralization reaction is always the proton, which comes from the acid, plus the hydroxide, which comes from the base, and these are the two species that get together to make water. And water is a liquid here. So just for practice here, these are all double replacement reactions that are going to form water and a salt. Balance them as you go. So HBr is an acid, so it will give us the proton. KOH is potassium hydroxide, which is the base, and that gives us hydroxide, and that gets together to make water. And then the leftover salt would be potassium bromide. So an acid-base titration is where we're going to do a neutralization reaction, but we are going to use it where we have one of the solutions has a known concentration, and we use that to figure out the concentration of the other solution, and that has an unknown concentration. So we're going to mix the two solutions together, and we are using something called an indicator to tell us when we reach the equivalence point. The equivalence point is the point at which the number of protons is equal to the number of hydroxides. So this is, you can think of it as the neutralization point, but equivalence point is the term that we use in titration. And at that point, there's something in our solution that's going to turn color, and that is called the indicator. If we do the most traditional types of titration, which is what we would do in lab, we would use what's called phenolphthalein, which has a funny, it's a little bit tricky to spell, and that is an indicator that changes color. It's colorless in acid, so it just looks like water. You can't see it at all. And the point at which it turns into a base, it turns pink. So what happens is when you add the base to the acid, you know when to stop because it starts to turn a little bit of pink. It starts to stay pink. And at that point, we've reached the equivalence point, which is where the protons and the hydroxides are equal to each other. And we can use that to figure out the concentration of an unknown. Sometimes we know the base and we figure out the concentration of the acid, and other times we know the concentration of the acid and we figure out the concentration of the base. And that's what a titration is. So there's an equation that we can use that makes the math for titrations pretty easy. It actually looks a little bit like the dilution equation that we did in solutions. So it says that the molarity of the acid times the volume of the acid, and the volume here is typically in milliliters. The volumes have to match on both sides of the equation. So the molarity of the acid times the volume of the acid times the number of protons in the acid. So if it's a monoprotic acid, then this number of protons would be 1. If it was a diprotic acid, it would be 2, etc. And that is equal to the molarity times the molarity of the base times the volume of the base times the number of hydroxides in the base. Again, if it was sodium hydroxide, this would be a 1. If it was calcium hydroxide, the number of hydroxides would be 2, etc. So here's a typical practice problem for titration. We're going to perform an acid-base titration to determine the concentration of a hydrochloric acid solution. This is an unknown concentration. So 50 milliliters of HCl, so that's the volume of the acid, is placed into flask with a few drops of indicator. The indicator is going to make it turn color when the protons and the hydroxides are equal to each other. And then we put sodium hydroxide, this is our base, and we know its concentration. It's 1524 molar. We're going to use moles per liter for concentration for both of these. In what's called a burette, which is a glass tube that measures the volume that you add, and we'll talk a little bit about that with a video. And the initial reading is 0.55 milliliters. So we have a burette, and what happens, you're going to fill up the burette with the solution that you're adding. In this case, it's going to be filled with sodium hydroxide. We measure the volume when we start, and then after the titration is finished, we measure the volume after the solution has turned pink. In this case, it's turned color. And the difference between those two is subtracted from the final, and that is the volume of sodium hydroxide. So that's going to be the volume of our base. So here's all the data for the base, sodium hydroxide. Because we measured it with a burette, we're given its molarity. We calculate the volume by subtracting the final volume minus the initial volume. This is the volume of the base that we've added. And because it's sodium hydroxide, the number of hydroxides is 1. So the HCl, which is our acid in our acid-base titration, we know the volume of the acid. We're told that it's 50 milliliters. We don't know the molarity of the acid. This is what we're trying to figure out. And the number of protons is 1 because it's HCl, and that's a monoprotic acid. So we're going to put all these numbers into the titration equation and calculate the molarity of the acid, which is what we're looking for. So Ma, which is the molarity of our acid, is 0.1016. Watch your sig figs. The number of sig figs in the final answer is going to be 4 because all of the other measurements had 4 sig figs.